So I just spent about 3 hours speaking to Eva Schloss, who is a survivor of the Nazi concentration camp known as Auschwitz. And, you know, it's really an amazing story that she told me about, you know, a girl who on her 15th birthday was seized by the Nazis in Amsterdam and then taken on this train ride with her family, and then separated from her family and separated from her mother and father, and just how she dealt with this entire horrible and gruesome experience of being in a concentration camp. And you know, this happened 73 years ago here in Europe, and it's just it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe that that stuff happened, and that, you know, slowly and systematically, you know, rights were stripped away from people, and then people were persecuted, and then other people went along with it because they didn't want to resist, and how the whole world kind of watched it happen. And it was really fascinating hearing her story. She's 89 years old, and you know, in a few years she might not be able to tell that story, and so it was a real honor that we could capture it in our studios in every single detail. And she told it in so many different details, just vividly describing the camp, the gas chambers, the crematoriums, you know, the loss of life every single day. She would wake up, you know, in her barracks next to dead bodies of people that would die in the night. And it was just a really moving tale. And especially if you're a parent, just talking about the only thing they had left was each other, and just that being stripped away. It was just really emotional to hear. And I just spoke to Mariana, and she watched the whole thing live, and she just said it was very emotional for her to watch too. So again, super blessed to be able to do things like this, and also super grateful for everybody who watches London Real, who can, you know, one day listen to Run DMC, and the next day listen to Dan Pena, and the next day listen to Amir Khan, and then the next day listen to Eva Schloss. And I really hope that people get a lot out of this episode, and watch it and listen to the details. You know, listen to how it slowly happened. Listen to how we were able to let that happen here on Earth to humans, and you know, how we can learn from that and not repeat that, and just value and treasure our own human life. I mean, they just, you know, she didn't have food for a long time, and it's something that's very hard for people to imagine. So yeah, just super grateful just to be here, and to have my family that's around me, and people that aren't being prosecuted and persecuted, at least right now. And that's a great thing to do, and I think let's all keep it that way is the plan. And I think we need to do it by guarding our privacy and guarding our rights every single step of the way. And it's easy to give up something small and it becomes something large later. So big thanks to Eva. The episode will be out on London Real in a while. She wanted me to send it on DVDs to her because she's kind of old school that way. And at the very end of the episode, she asked me my name. That was awesome. What's your name, young man? And so it was great being around someone that old as well. And it reminds me of my grandparents and being around them when I was a kid. And we were always very respectful of the older people because they can teach us so much. And it's great to have Eva in here. I haven't had someone that old since Jacques Fresco came on London Real about 6 years ago, who was 92 at the time, and he's since passed away. And again, we were able to capture that conversation to be watched, you know, for the next 1,000 years. And hopefully we can learn something from Jacques, and we'll learn something from Eva. So super grateful. I hope you get a chance to watch this. It's worth the time to listen to the details. This is not a story for highlight reels. This is not a story for, you know, trailers. This is a story to sit back and listen to her on audio or watch her on the video, and just see if you can relive those experiences of what that was like, trying to get out of Europe, being shocked, you know, at the blitz of the Nazis, and all of a sudden you got nowhere to go. You can't get to England, you can't get to America. You're hiding in a house for 2 years. Hiding, like literally hiding, with people that you have to trust, that are basically sacrificing their own lives if they were ever found out of what they're doing. So yeah, just really interesting times, and to realize it happened, you know, just a few hundred miles away from here is very sobering. So anyways, lots of love to you. Go give your family a hug, cherish your freedom, cherish everything you have around you, because, you know, it wasn't always this way, and it not necessarily always will be this way. So that's it. Peace and love. from London.